next, I need to cover the bigger part of the topic here, which is on movie. It is right here. Okay, this is the part that is fundamentally why Lumion is created, why it is created, and what it is designed to do. Okay, at the end of the day, now click this. You'll be back here. Before we do anything at all, can you come into this scene already? Alright, I need you to do something for me. I need you to clean the scene up. Okay, you see down here, this portion here, everything is black, right? It is all black here. What I want you to do is, when you mouse over, you see a remove clip, a rubbish bin here. Okay, I want you to double click on it. Once you double click on it, the scene becomes a checkered box. Do it for everyone. What you are doing is, you are trying to clear off what previous settings you have done or this file has done by deleting away the clips altogether. Okay. Let's skip down to here. In animation, we would like to share with you, first of all, a few topics here. How to create a clip, how to control the duration of the clip, how to save and render an entire movie, okay, how to edit it, and then how to save it, and the settings you need to pay attention to, because there's a submission requirement and the requirements are quite specific. And lastly, we then move on to the animation effects. You are required in your submission to produce this animation with at least one animation effect. At least one. We are going to show you a few. Alright, so you decide which is most suitable. Okay, and you are going to need it. We're going to cover move, advanced move, mass move, titles. These are some of this. And probably I want to squeeze in this part here on sun as well. Okay. In a new scene that you have created, in a new movie, when you are starting out, when you click on movie, this should be what you will see. Everything is blank. And with this, there are three modes of which you can incorporate into this film, this movie. First of all, you can record from your scene. You make the necessary arrangements and adjustments, then you record. You can load an image. This is particularly useful when you already have a presentation board that you have prepared. It comes in a JPEG format or a TIFF or a Photoshop format. Okay, this is useful for showing the site context and location, perhaps a location map and so on. You know, you show a location map and then you begin to zoom in and then it becomes your site. Or you want to show the history of the site, the context of your project, what your project is about. You have an image and then you put them in, it becomes text and so on. You can load a movie from a file. I don't know, maybe you are doing TOD for this. Before you do your animation, you have your TOD illustrating the theory behind and again contextual information. Or you are in the furniture atelier. You make things. You created something. You created a design that is transformable. It's a transformer kind of furniture. And at the moment, Lumion doesn't animate very well. There are some features we can show you, but you cannot expect it to animate very smoothly, that you have all the controls. So ultimately, there may be some parts in which you have to animate outside using another software, like 3D Studio Max, for example. Like folding legs, folding furniture, or transforming furniture from a bed to a chair to a chair to a table, for example. All those things. Okay, then you can load them in and you can render them as an entire movie. We will show you how to load, okay, how to create a clip first. By clicking on record, you are creating a clip. So I'll click on record. You will be inside a scene. This will be the same thing as your scenario and so on, okay, like that. Okay, I'm going to go real far out like this. I want to show you a few techniques, okay, of what you can do. We're going to start by doing a helicopter fly-in scene first. So you are very, very far out. Then you want to be showing the entire side context here, from this bloody Red Sea and this island surrounded by the bloody Red Sea, okay, and you can adjust the camera lenses, okay. So I'm going to set it and fix it at 20 mm, for example. With this, you know, in 3D Studio Max, when you do an animation or a walkthrough or a fly-through, you must first draw the path, edit the path like crazy, and then slap a camera inside and path constrain the camera to the path and do 10,000 things before things can happen. In Lumion, no. Life is a bit easier because you are almost holding a virtual handycam. So this is, you click on this to take a photo. One click. And then after that, you go back in there. Okay, this is where I want to start. Okay, then my helicopter will fly in after we see the bloody Red Sea. Then we will go in all the way and crash land and slow down. And then we will look at the nice building that we have created, nice environment like this, and we will take another picture. You can almost imagine this to be start point, this is end point. After this, you can click play to see a little preview of what you have done. Helicopter flies in all the way and then crash lands there, like that. Okay, typically this is what you do for walkthrough anyway, right? Okay, except in 3D Studio Max, you'll be amending 10,000 things before you can even get here. The helicopter don't fly to where? That one. Okay. Now, there's another thing I want to bring to your attention is this part here. We already learned how to create a clip. Now I need to share with you how to control the clip duration. How to control time. Time is relational to speed. More speed equals to less time. Okay, less speed equals to more time. All right, that means go faster, take less time. Go slower, take more time. All right. So what's going to happen? Oh, I find a helicopter taking 12.4 seconds. This is in seconds, by the way. The helicopter taking 12 seconds to crash land onto the island is too long. We're going to reduce that. We're going to use I don't know, from a Black Hawk helicopter to an Apache fighter helicopter. Okay, this one. So we're going to drop the time to say 6 seconds here. Okay, and once we change this to 6 seconds, notice how fast it can now do the job. You're flying a whole lot faster. Can you understand this conceptually? This part here, it's quite easy, really. It's quite easy. Okay. Now, after this, when you are done with this part here, you can actually keep clicking on photo, keep changing the scene, keep clicking to add more and more views. So you create a one clip, non-edited one. But I will prefer you put in some director skills there. You know, in a movie situation, do you ever see a movie that shoots for 2 hours continuously non-stop? There is one recent movie like that, which I forgot the title already. It's nominated for Academy Awards for cinematography, that one. But it's very, very computer special effects edited. It's shot in many parts. It's impossible to shoot a movie continuously. But they added in the special effects to make the movie continue all the way, to look like it's one continuous clip. I find that really, really tiring to watch that movie, because when is the scene ever going to change? Okay. Now, when you are done, you get out. Where do you get out? You get out by clicking on the back button here, which is the tick. So you click on back. You have your first scene here. So now we're going to create the second scene again. You click on number 2 here, and you will add record again here. With this, we are going to now play with the lens instead of flying in. Okay, so I want you to try with this. Change the lens to 10 mm. So 10 mm, you see a lot of things. Very dramatic view of the island, the causeway to the mainland, and so on. Record, take photo, and I want you to drag this camera all the way to the end. The Paparazzi 300mm super telephoto lens, which you can now begin to see the pretty lady here swimming in the pool. Okay, this one. Then you can see like right onto the face, like that. And then you take a snapshot also. It will take 10 seconds to zoom in that way, you know, camera adjust and everything, but we've got no time, we're really busy here, so we're going to change this down to say 6 seconds. Okay, and let's take a look and see what the effect is. So you see from the island all the way, zooming all the way until you see the lady swimming, the lady's face swimming in the water. That one. Okay, through camera zooming. It's a camera zoom function, this one. It's not really a walkthrough, but it's a camera change. This is one of the technique here. All right. Now once we have this, I'm happy with how it looks. We will go back again. You notice now we have 2 scenes. We have 2 clips now. Okay, let's go for the third camera technique before we move on to something else. So click on the third clip now and record again. This time round, before we do anything else, change the camera lens back to say 20 mm, and we go back to the island now, real fast. Okay, like this. Okay, we take the man's view as the point of view here. Okay, down here. So I'm going to show you how to create a panning shot situation, a panning scene. So after I get the angle nicely, I will start by clicking take photo. Then I will rotate this to about this angle. I will take photo. And to illustrate to you, hey, you can actually take more than a few shots in a clip itself. So I take the third photo and I'll do this. I'll take a 4th photo. So what happens is there are actually 4 angles, 4 moments that I've taken, and it will take 12 seconds to move. So okay, let me try, and we do a playback. What will happen is it will turn. The camera will now turn this way. Okay, is it good speed or not? I don't know, maybe this is too slow. Let's try making it really fast, like 2 seconds. This is the effect, and then you can see what the change in time is really about. Okay, imagine in 2 seconds you finish everything. Okay, super quick, super fast, right? Less time taken, more speed. More time taken, less speed. Basically that. So what happens is, this is no good because I'm not able to appreciate the design at all. It's almost like a quick head turn. So no, we are not going to do this. We are going to perhaps stretch it to about, say, 10 seconds. And let's take a look again. Is this alright or not to move? I think it's quite okay, quite alright, because we can begin to see how things change over time and the whole environment itself. Alright? So I'm done. I'm happy with it. I go back now. I now have 3 scenes. I now have 3 clips. We now move on to looking at it from an entire movie point of view. Okay, so what's going to happen is I am going to click on this button here, entire movie. Now notice, if I click on entire movie, there is this highlight here, and you notice here, you will see this almost 22 seconds, 21.99 because of the frames per second count, this one. So if you see this, you will see totally is now frame number 00 times 00 over 21.99 or 22 seconds. That means to say your total movie now is 22 seconds long. What's the submission requirement again? 60 seconds or more. So I'm a good 40 seconds behind. Okay, I'm still short of 40 seconds, but we'll deal with it. We'll slowly build this up and you will see what happens. Okay, we will have more than a minute, don't worry. Okay, then you can do a collective playback. When you click on this entire movie, you will play the whole thing. Now, helicopter crash landing view all the way to zoom in view all the way until you see the lady swimming in the pool, and the turn from left to right this way to see the entire environment here. Okay, like that. Now for some reason you may want to edit, you can actually shift the sequence by dragging them over. So instead, this can be the first scene. Okay, the looking left and right could be the first scene. Before the helicopter scene comes in, the fly in, before the zoom in, then that one. Okay, this is almost like film editing already. Okay, I'll just put this back to its original position. Next, we will do a walk-in scene. We will record a walk-in scene from here. So we will walk in, take a photo now, and walk into about this area here, and I record, and try to turn and move a little bit. Okay, and turn and go in to see the interior this way. So I'll take about 16 seconds already by default. I'm running out of time, so better not. I'm going to reduce it to, say, make it move faster, say 12 seconds. Then I do a playback. So I can do a walk-in scene like this. Okay, into the interior. I'm quite happy with it, so we'll stay that way and click back. After this is done, I want to show you one more part here. record another new clip called, this one I want it to be a still scene. What is a still camera scene? I want to be showing a nice effect of this scenery here. I want to see a really nice scenery down here of this beautiful pool feature, along with the Red Sea there outside. So I will just take one shot of this, and I'm going to increase the time to say 6 or 8 seconds. 8 seconds. And back. So total I have now 41.99, 42 seconds worth of video already. Now if you look at this one, if I just play this clip, nothing will change. The camera doesn't really move, so it's as if water is just flowing there for what? For a couple of seconds here now. I want to do this because we're going to move on to the next stage on effects already. Okay? Now, stop this first. Take one shot. You don't take 2 shots. Remember, you start taking 2 shots initially, right? You take 1 shot first, and that's it. You go back. You take one beautifully composed shot and you let it hold there, and you stretch the time from 2 seconds by default to longer, maybe 4-8 seconds or so. Alright, with that. Don't worry about this part first, alright? Let's move on to the next one. Now I want to show you how to do this, to output it. So I'm happy with my shots and everything now already. Next thing we do is we will click on files and then we save our work first. Export full scene. I want to save this now like that and overwrite everything. Okay, I'm done. So I go back to movie again. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on entire movie, and I want to be clicking on this save movie feature here because I want to render everything out now. So if you notice, when you click on save movie, you will see 3 main tabs here. Default format is MP4. Then there is image sequence, the Kiasu sequence. Like in 3D Studio Max, you know, if you are worried about your computer crashing at this currently the frame is about 1260 frames. You are afraid that at 1259 frames your computer crashes, then you need to re-render this all over again if you use MP4. If you are worried about this, then you can choose the image sequence format, and what would happen is you can now, by default it will say auto. If you click on auto, it becomes customs, and you click on shots, you can choose to render shot number 500 to number 520, for example, 520, and then you can save them. Okay, so you can decide which clip at which point you want to start rendering the things. Okay, or you can obviously change them to individual renderings, individual render frames. We will use the default MP4 first, MP4 format. And the submission requirement says it must be a minimum of 30 frames per second. The render quality, you will put it at maximum, the best quality your computer can produce. And you need to choose the resolution to this one, Full HD. Full HD resolution is 1920 by 1080 pixels. You can go higher but not lower. Okay. When you are done, you will click Start Movie Export and give it a logical name, save it, and you are good to go, like that. I want you to reach this spot because Now, if you look at my screen here, Lumion is telling you, hey, at this kind of setting, it will take 3.37 seconds to render one frame. And the total estimated render time, it's going to take about 1 hour and 10 minutes to knock out. 1 hour to knock out 1 hour plus 2 hours to knock out one animation, you know. I think it's a pretty good deal. Okay, even when I'm rendering the video recordings I have for your lessons here, one clip takes nearly half an hour to render. So that's why it's taking so long, so hard to do this. And I cannot do anything to my computer as well. Alright? So, you can just let it run. You can either go to sleep now, or you can go for lunch, or you can take a cigarette break or something, whatever it is. Okay? Now with this, you can prepare your other works now, or build your model while it renders. Okay? Comparatively, it takes you hours to render an animation using Lumion compared to days when you use 3D Studio Max. If you use Mental Ray, V-Ray, it will take you weeks, if not months. So, not worth the while. So that's why in year 2 we tell you, don't worry about Mental Ray. I don't think it's going to be that relevant to you or important for you. Okay, you need to build out your basic modeling skills. That's more important. Because in 3rd year, we're going to introduce to you better tools and faster tools for you to produce things even better. That's why. Okay, just as an example, I'm going to press the escape key now down here. You can press the escape key to stop the rendering first. So that's what I'm going to do, because we still have to continue the lesson. But nonetheless, some of these sequences have been rendered already. So you can actually play it back also. Okay, that's all I have rendered so far. A few clips. Let's go back to the creation here.